Welcome back to Class Farms, guys. Kai over here with Jason.
What's going on, folks?
And we've got Adam from Century and Canik here with us today. So Adam, welcome.
Thanks for coming down to our level.
There you go.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. This is a position that I believe you're very familiar with.
How's the air up there?
So out the gate, you think, see, that was funny. You know, you just choose violence right out the gate.
With you, it's always, that's the only option.
Who hurt you?
You. And I'm going to hurt you back. With that being said, Adam is back here again, as always, and we've had him on the channel many times. Definitely check out some of our previous footages where we kicked his own butt with his own guns. And we're going to do that again today in a different fashion. Here in the video room, we're going to talk about those top 5 Caniks of all time. And Adam's going to tell us which ones he likes and which one he likes more, less, whatever. But me and Jason, we've got this list going on. And we'll see if Adam is going to agree with that. So, first of all, welcome, dude. How you doing?
Well, that was a long-winded way of saying we're talking top 5 Caniks.
Exactly. That's how it works.
Doing all right. You know, it's been a crazy year. A lot going on. You know, political world, gun sales up and down. But it's always a pleasure to come here and hang out with Jason.
Appreciate you, big dog.
All right, good. I know it's not going to be a pleasure because I am going to just kick your butt again. Do you want me to lose so you become friends with me? But I'm not going to do that. All right, so with that being said, Jason?
Number 5.
And number 5 is going to be Canik TP9 SF, the OG kind of.
It is the OG. Yeah. Obviously, you know, you coming from your Turkish background, we were talking about this before we started this video. This is one of those ones that is kind of the iconic service pistol around the world. Over 50 countries in the world currently carry Caniks, whether it's in military or law enforcement. And this is kind of the one that started it all. So it was one of the originators in terms of the polymer striker fire pistols that Canik brought to the US market. Right. And so it's always going to have its place in the lore of kind of where Canik came from to where it is now. Yep. And I mean, even off of this platform is what probably the best-selling Canik to date was built off, and that's the TP9 SFX. So the longer slide, longer barrel, really the one that kind of became something unique. Like, this is a great gun, but it is kind of that checks the boxes of a standard service duty pistol. So I definitely think it's always going to have a place, whether it's your nightstand gun, your on the hip gun, or that kind of mass produced service pistol.
Very affordable.
Very affordable, very price point friendly. And there's going to be actually some pretty cool price point versions of this coming out in a couple months this year.
That's perfect. Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of, especially, I can speak for Turkey, right? A lot of Turkish police officers are carrying the TP9 SFs, different configurations. Obviously, you got the FDE version here. There's black ones out there too. Price point gun, and that works great.
Yeah, so a great starting point for it. Definitely gonna like always stay in that top 5 in terms of just the iconic nature of it. But then we really, as we go in towards number 4, number 3, all the way to number 1, you're gonna see kind of the innovations that Canik has brought to the US market. We're really excited to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason, what do you think about this, man?
I feel like we should move on to the evolution of number 4.
We know what Jason thinks about this. Let's go. Number 4. And number 4 is going to be, obviously, the SFX Rival, this competition pistol with that awesome trigger that you guys really made a name for yourself.
Well, hold up. And the Rival S. I'm just saying.
True.
The Rival S, ironically, the fact that we're talking this is number 4 is crazy to me, but also it kind of just says what, like we were talking about before, the evolution of Canik over the last couple of years. So the Canik SFX Rival actually came out to the market in 2022. It was introduced at SHOT Show 2022. Actually won Handgun of the Year, Industry Choice Awards Handgun of the Year for 2022. The Rival S came out in 2023 and won Industry Choice Awards Handgun of the Year for 2023. Yeah. This gun's a really interesting dynamic as it was designed almost solely for that competitive shooting world.
That's right.
Nils Jonassen is our team captain for Team Canik. One of the most decorated shooters in the world now. I think it's like 50 national titles, like 12 world championships and countless regionals and states. Yeah. He actually went to Turkey with myself and the rest of our engineering team and designed this from barrel to grip and everything up and in between, including the components. So that was the first time you saw that flat 90-degree break trigger on a Canik. Obviously the diamond cut, that really light under 4-pound pull, that super short, less than 1.5 millimeter reset. All the kind of things that have made this an excellent platform, and now we've built so much off of, started with the Rival and the Rival S. So it's a really cool gun. Obviously super aggressive slide serrations, that new and improved frame, the external magwell as well as the integrally, that one you can see obviously there is still that internal flared magwell that actually is the adapter for the external magwell as well. Just some really cool different things, some additional base plates, obviously the fluting on the barrel. the enhanced sights, the ability to obviously co-witness right out the gate, optics ready. This was a gun that was designed, like we said, genuinely to work with the competitive shooter, but also people loved it. It's a fun shooting gun that's fun on the range, affordable.
That was the thing. It was an affordable gun at its caliber, right? People were like, "Oh wait, this is actually super affordable. I'd have to normally spend well over $1,000 for something."
Yeah, and out the box, you take it to the competition, and you're putting it up against $2,000 guns. Yeah. So very cool thing. Like I said, the Rival S is the complete same gun, only 9/10 of a pound heavier because of the steel, and it's all blended from the rear of the trigger guard forward. And yeah, it came with, the first time we did that really big, the travel box, the cool holster, all the kind of bells and whistles that people love about Canik. This was really the kind of thing that springboarded that into action. So it definitely has its place at number 4. I'm actually surprised it's not a little bit higher, but let's see what's next.
Well, hold on. Not saying that isn't great, but there's even greater.
But here's the deal, though. If you're making a top 5 list of any kind, top 5s that we do here, that means out of everything we bought, we thought these are the best 5 guns. So if you're making the list, you're good.
Correct.
So
speaking truth for once.
Crazy. Moving on to number 3.
And number 3 is going to be obviously the Mc9 Family.
And everything in there.
Everything in there, but specifically for me,
we'll get to the details. I mean, why are you going to jump into the icing before you even get to the
he's
cake?
going to talk about that guy.
Yeah.
We try to contain them.
I like them all, okay?
I know.
Minuteman.
I know.
Yeah, so speaking of Minuteman, it kind of has that patriotic theme. That's a segue. That's a segue.
You would know.
This is actually a version of the MC9 that we did specifically for Gun Owners of America and is only available through Classic Firearms.
Yep.
So the MC9 was actually 2024's
Gun of the year.
Handgun of the year for the concealed carry set category. We didn't take the whole cake this time, just just a category specific.
Okay.
But this one was a really cool one we did. So a bit of the proceeds from this gun actually went to support Gun Owners of America. Like I said, only available through Classic. This was when it kind of came to as the race to small.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Kind of like cell phones, guns, everything it did. It was one of those things where people wanted the smallest thing with some capacity, and so it was all about that 1 inch of width, that 3-inch barrel, and getting it compact. I love the fact that we were able to come out with something that was a competitive base. It's optics ready out the gate, co-witnesses. We were able to add some features that weren't available in some of our predecessors that kind of invented the micro compact category. But to me, with my big meat hands, and I mean, all of us have pretty big hands, unless you're running that extended 15-round magazine,
it's hard to grip.
It's snappy in my hand. I mean, I'm almost a little nervous with it because it sits, especially repeated rounds on target. I mean, I'm happy if I'm hitting the target at 25 yards on repeated rounds. You know what I'm saying? Because it's moving after, it gets sweaty in your hands. So that was what I was really proud of when we came out with the L and the LS.
Right.
Yep.
So the L and LS came out in 2024.
The L?
So the L, obviously, both of them have that extended grip, which gives them, more control, a little more grip texture, and then also it adds to capacity. So now you're sitting at 17 plus 1 on both of these.
Right.
And then the LS is actually for the L length S slide adds another 1/2 inch to the barrel length.
Right.
So now you're getting that longer, that axis, that side axis. You're obviously getting a little more control on the snap of the barrel, and then you have obviously the increased grip texturing and fit of a longer grip.
All right, let's talk about the Prime. So we're gonna talk
couldn't
about.
wait.
This is actually my number 2.
It's actually my number 1 out of our entire list.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So you guys now know because of this guy over there, we had to pick this.
Listen.
Put it at number 3. Okay.
10 men agree. It is the job of the 11th man to decide.
This is Canik Prime. By far, this is my favorite, almost my favorite, right? Number 2, Canik Pistol of all time. Grip texture feels really good. The gun looks really good. Obviously, we got little ports over here. Awesome trigger. Just, you know what?
Highly technical assessment right there. So when you talk about the little ports, obviously this is the first
little ports up there.
First integrally comped Canik pistol. So you've got the 3-port barrel, you've got the integral and blast chamber, you've got the compensated slide, you've got tritium front and rear night sights. You've got, like you said, the super aggressive slide cuts. You got the porting on the slide, but then you even got the little details like the fluting of the barrel. You got the word prime cut into the barrel. You've got that flat trigger that started on number 4 with the Rival and Rival S, and that diamond cut aluminum 90-degree break trigger. You got super aggressive grip texturing that started on some of the Evolution evolutions before. Your number 2 was one of the first ones to do that. We won't spoil it, but that was where we really started changing grip texturing. Obviously, the ability to co-witness, that 17+1 capacity, comes with a G-code holster, the fancy box that started with the Rival, all the bells and whistles, and made by Canik USA at our West Palm Beach facility. So the very first thing here,
Made in America,
big
guys.
step, that Made in America stamp of approval on that flag is something that we're really proud of.
Absolutely. And of course, again, I mean, we can't write home even more about this. This thing is absolutely feels so good in hand, man. What really stands out is that stippling for me. It's locked into
And you know
hand.
what's really interesting about that stippling is you wouldn't know it unless you actually feel it.
Yeah.
So the grip texturing on the front and rear is actually more aggressive than that on the sides.
Makes sense.
Our engineers even thought of that. Like if you're carrying this in an appendix carry, you don't want it to tear up your skin or your shirt if it's sitting there on you, as opposed to your two main contact points when grabbing that gun are the front and the rear of the grip. So let's give me a little bit more there. So the level of attention to details we've learned from everything from that SF that's 10, 15 years old to this, which came out in April of 2025.
Plus, I mean, learning, and also things evolve. Like even when you look at tacticals, like 10 years ago, the tactics that we were taught, and 10 years later, completely different.
Of course.
Things evolve, right? Yeah. And I really think that gun, you guys just knocked out of the park.
And you know, the ownership of Canik, I was actually talking to him, not only that, like there's a lot of cool things people want in guns, but to be able to industrialize that and put it into mass production so that you can actually bring down the price of something and make it approachable for the blue collar guy is something that technology is advanced with. So the ability to do that kind of grip texturing and do it in different sizes and different parts of the gun and still be able to keep this gun at the price it's at now is something that we're really proud of, and that's come with the innovation levels of this as well.
Yeah, I just don't agree this gun being a number 3 spot.
Like I said, it's number 1 for me. Yeah. I agree with where you guys are. I like your 1 and 2, but this to me is kind of
that's my number 2. I'll die on that hill. With that being said, let's move over to that number 2 that I was not. I don't agree with it.
It's okay.
Because it shouldn't be, but let's go to number 2. And number 2 is going to be, well, this is number 1. Again, my number 1. I will back it up all day long. But anyways, for this video, because I didn't want the kids around here to cry, it's number 2. Canik TTI Combat from Terran Tactical Innovations, and Canik obviously collaborating on this, and absolutely dominated it. This thing, I don't know how this thing wasn't number 1.
It's okay. Well, you can hold that one, but this one is actually the number 1. I'm just saying.
Okay, let's duke it out. Why is that? How is that over this gun?
Okay.
Well, first off, what is it?
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah, tell us, what is it?
You guys are already so competitive that you forgot how to do your job. Like this
I'm
is.
shocked. Wait, he forgot his job.
So that is the SFX Pro.
Thank you. I have to say it. Just the word pro in it, first of all.
Oh,
It's
that's
just,
it.
It really does take the cake for me. But not only that.
And scene, right? Yeah,
And
exactly.
scene, duh. But no, I love that gun. I really do.
How is it over this?
I'm just something about this. I'm not the only one in
just
this
say
room.
something. Come
Brandon also feels the same way about
Okay.
it. There's something about this. Oh, I'm so,
Coming on
Brandon,
the side.
Brandon, get
You
you
guys
look.
Brandon, stand up though when you.
Well, a little bit higher.
Yeah. So
I am in a room of people who are 6 foot or higher, and I'm not, if you can't tell. But
they can tell.
100% number 1. You're talking price point alone. It's got a threaded barrel, so I could put a comp on there if I want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're stuck with it on
And
that
when you
one.
put a comp on, how long is that going to give it? How long is that going to be?
I don't know. What'd you say? I couldn't understand. You
How
didn't
long is
give
that?
me-
He's flustered. Hold on,
Wait.
children.
Hold on.
Children.
No. Take it easy. All right, let's go. This is about $650, $999. So we're talking about $350 difference. I'm gonna tell you why this thing dominates this. Number 1, 5th most sold handgun in 2024.
glad you can read the
All right,
brochure
so
there,
hold
Chief.
on.
I'm just going to let you know.
Wait.
All right.
5th most sold. This thing basically dominated this guy. When it comes to sales, this guy's gonna tell us this thing dominated this one. On top of that, looks-wise, better looking gun. It has a built-in integrated comp. All right, better system. It looks better trigger, a metal versus polymer, and it has Terran Tactical Innovation on it. You have a TTI gun, so it's not worth everything I just talked to you about. Is it not worth $350 all day long? This thing dominates.
Listen, we understand that.
Yeah.
But we
You don't
totally disregard it. This one is the one that you want, and this one,
you know
both of
what?
them you want.
How about
But this
this?
one
Wait,
just
I'm gonna settle
has a
this.
special place. I'm
gonna-
telling you this right now.
Why is your phone? You don't know how to talk about.
He's actually had somebody else calling to argue
You
about
get a
it.
third.
He lost it. He's phoning in a friend.
Mom's calling to say, don't
Adam,
be mean to my son.
Adam,
Yeah.
which one is number 1 in every? SFX Pro or the TTI
All right.
Combat number 1?
So I think you both have solid points.
Now, don't play that
Stop.
political
Let me
Come on.
full on meltdown. Yeah. So I think here's what I'm gonna say. If you're gonna ask me which one, if I can only have one, which one am I buying? I'm buying the TTI.
Of course,
But
it
now,
dominates.
but now, what I can say this: when we came out with the Mete SFX and SFT Pro, it was one of those unique things. We said, all right, people want to upgrade their guns if they're passionate about the line, right? And especially for us, exactly. I mean, the trigger reset on it.
It's not like it's different. It's the same trigger. This is metal.
I understand that.
You're talking like, oh,
But
look at that
there's
trigger.
some,
Like as
there's
if,
some type of whiz bang thing going on.
so you can't
here,
even
man.
explain it.
But now,
Because
honestly,
these-
so I mean, the fact that we have the chrome barrel, you have some cool things. You do have a threaded barrel. You're looking at right there. That's $250 in upgrades. It really is. I mean, for a chromed barrel, a threaded barrel,
you want to talk about the upgrades? All right,
Now, yeah,
calm.
no,
Let's
100%
go.
agreed. No, I 100% agree. I'm going to tell you this. Also, what we found is some people like a traditional look of a black gun, and it's really interesting. So even Taryn agreed that sometimes that traditional black gun with a little bit of polish, a little bit of sex appeal.
So let me ask you a question. If you had the TTI Combat in black, would that be your number one then?
I don't know, man.
Well, let's just say.
See what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna say, Taryn understood that there's a lot of smoke
Smoke.
and mirrors that come out.
Man, if this was a CF contest video, the code word would be smoke. Don't you think so?
I'm just saying, let's say that there might be something very, very new coming out very, very soon in the TTI that's going to have the aesthetics that you love.
Can I say something, guys?
Give me a threaded barrel.
Hey,
I'm
listen.
great.
If that thing was so freaking incredibly cool over this, it is cool. Not over this. Taryn would have done something with that. But Taryn's gonna just smoke this one out.
Well, I think this would be a great question. What do you think in the comments? Is it the Mete SFX Pro for that value, or is it one of the best-selling guns of 2024 in the Canik TTI Combat?
Yeah. Literally, as I said, $350 more. You get a comp. Definitely better sights, in my personal opinion. Better trigger, better feel, better look. and
Upgraded
TTI.
holster, hard case.
What are you, Papa John's over there? Like,
saying,
like
just
what?
Well, you do, and also you get the TTI plus 3 base pad. That's a $55.
Let's keep going.
All right.
You get
How
the
is this not number one?
I mean,
Be honest.
Listen,
you know
These
what?
guys basically crap the
What is
bed
it? The eye of
when
the
it comes to
beholder, right?
selections.
The eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
I tell you
Anyways,
what, as Canik, we're honored that you guys are even passionate enough about 2 of our products, and really 5 of our products, to get into such a heated debate, because you never argue about anything. So the fact that you are right now is something that we really appreciate, and we've got a ton more in the pipeline. Obviously, we've got the Prime, we've got some stuff working with Taryn right now, we've got some stuff for the future with Taryn.
Fucking Iraq. Keep going.
all that working out paid off there, Chief.
Keep going. Come on, you can't even talk.
I'm speechless.
We're
man.
flabbergasted right now.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so there's that. The
There's that.
Iraq. The Iraq, yep. Yeah. Okay.